Hey guys, and welcome back to Opal&Mint. I am Ashley, and today we're doing another swatching video. We are continuing the swatching series. I'm swatching out all of my paints in the Light Wish Swatch sketchbook. I'm throwing some stone swatches here and there too when I have new paints, because I like to see how new paints perform in that manner as well. With that said, I have new paints today and I'm going to blame y'all. Somebody put this in the comments and of course I had to look them up and they're so gorgeous. They're stunning looking. I love paints that separate and granulate and I love all the different colors. So we are talking about Mairtini today. This is a brand I'd never heard of. So I looked it up, went to their website. This was established in 2017, I believe, and in Beijing. It says, I'm just gonna read the little blurb on the box. Meritini selects the high quality raw materials from around the world. Pure and highly light fast pigments. We make two to three color blends and use multiple grinding processes to present different levels of multicolored, layered, granulating expression. So these are 5 ml tubes and there's 12 colors. So yeah, I guess let's just go ahead and start swatching because, oh my gosh, do you see what that looks like on the front? Ugh, so pretty. Anyway, Headache Cat is here as always. Migraine is never ending. Thank you for your patience. Let's go ahead and start swatching. All right, so this is the Mairtini watercolor brand. I looked them up. Somebody actually commented and mentioned them to me. So I looked them up. They looked gorgeous. And I believe this company was actually founded in 2017 in Beijing. So I'm really excited to play with these. I do have information on the back. However, a lot of it is not English. I do have the pigment information. I don't know what the light fast and opacity and all that is. There is a square next to it, so maybe that's the opacity. But I can't read. It's from China, and a lot of it's in, I'm assuming, Chinese. I can't read everything that's on here. So they do have stars under them, and they all have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. So maybe that's the light fast rating on them. I'm not sure. And then they each have a square. It's either full or empty. So maybe opaque and transparent. Oh yeah, because then there's like semi. Okay, so I'll go through these and we'll see what we can do. But I poured these out yesterday in these pans that my husband 3D printed for me. And they're gonna go in this little palette. How stinking cute is that? So as I swatch them, I'm gonna put them in the palette. So as always on this swatching series, we're going to be using the Light Wish swatch book. My goal is to put all of my paints in one book, assuming they will fit. I mean, there's quite a few pages in here, so I'm thinking they'll fit. So I'm just kind of marking a line in between each palette. So here's the set, and it does come with a swatch card. It looks like it's pretty smooth paper though, so probably not going to be using that, but there are the names. I'm going to keep this open because I wrote the names on the pans, but some of them are hard to read. So, all right, first color is Uranus. This is like a galaxy theme palette set. All right, they are all, nope, they're series 1s, 2s, and 3s, and 4s. Okay. All right, so Uranus is a full square, so most likely that means it's opaque. We shall see. And all of them say 5-star, if that's what that is. So, okay, the pigments on this one are PBK11 and PB15:3. All right, let me actually get a little bit closer. We need some close-up swatching here. All right, and as always, my swatch brush is the Creative Mark Rhapsody Round Kolinsky Sable, size 6. I don't think that's ever gonna change now. That's my favorite one. Okay, all right, let's see. Ooh, activating nicely. Oh my goodness gracious alive, that's a beautiful color. Okay, so this is a really beautiful, rich, deep kind of indigo looking blue. Again, it's got that PBK11, so that this is kind of like the Daniel Smith lunar blue vibe because it's got that lunar black, that PBK11. And are these sets absolutely necessary? No. You can mix a blue with a PBK11 and get this yourself. I just thoroughly enjoy them. So, and I like swatching them out for you guys. All right, so there's the first one. Oh my gosh, please fit. Oh, is this, do these not fit in here? I thought I tested this beforehand. Okay, just got to squish it in there. All right, so there's the first one. That reminds me very, very much of Daniel Smith's Lunar Blue. And it's the same black pigment. I wonder if it's the same blue pigment because it's very similar. Okay, next up we have not Lucky. I always say Lucky Star on this one. It's Lucy Star. This one is semi-opaque or semi-transparent. Not sure. And the pigments on this one, we have PY, so yellow, 42. And again, we have PB15:3. So a green color. I bet this one's going to separate beautifully. Man, again, reactivating. Look at that. Oh. This is giving me Cascade Green vibes. Man, they're giving me Daniel Smith vibes, which is not a bad thing at all. They're so intensely, I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. They activate so well, so quickly, so juicy. Oh my gosh, I love. Okay, I'm curious to see how that one dries and separates. I'm gonna put a little bit more water. I want to see how this one will. There we go. Okay. All right, our next color is Pluto. This one is a transparent one. We have PB29. Please ignore my messed up finger. PR177, 77, and PG36. So we got 3 pigments in this one. We've got a blue, a red, and a green. All right, Pluto, what are you going to look like? Okay. This one was a thinner pour. I don't know if you can tell the pan, the paint's a lot flatter on it, so it was thinner. So, wow, yeah, you can definitely tell this one is more of a transparent paint. It also feels more gummy than the other ones, and that is normal with some kind of transparent ones, but also maybe the paint in the tube wasn't fully mixed with the binder. So it's either binder heavy or it just wasn't fully mixed with the binder because it is a little bit gummy. But let's see how it dries. Definitely a more transparent. There we go. We're getting a little bit more pigment there. Okay. So to kind of work it a little bit more. Yeah, the texture of this one's a little bit off, but I think that may be because the paint needs to be mixed up. I'm not sure. But there is Pluto. These are going to be in there and they're not coming out because they're like a tight fit. Next color we have, I'm not positive how you say this one. Ceres, C-E-R-E-S. This is a semi-transparent. And our pigments on this one are PB29, PO73, and PG36. Okay, so same pigments except the last one, except we have an orange instead of a red. So let's see what we got here. This one also looks like it's a little bit more thin formula. So maybe these two paints are just a little bit more on the thin side. This one just looks kind of gray, but I'm curious to see those paints separate. Are we going to have a blue and kind of orange separation? Because right now it doesn't look like anything special, but I'm curious if the separation is going to be really pretty. The next one looks like it's going to be a beautiful, vibrant color. All right, so next is Neptune, and this one is semi-transparent. All right, this one has PB 28 instead of 29. That's an 8. And PV 19. Okay, this one's probably going to be really pretty. This one was a thinner looking formula too, and it looks like it didn't really set much at all overnight. So, oh yeah. But if I'm remembering correctly, PB 28 is a cobalt blue. And it's usually, those are usually more on the lighter, gummier side anyways. But I really enjoy painting with them. They're light and airy and granulate so beautifully. So I'm hoping this one will do the same. It is reminding me of kind of a cobalt, violet kind of color. And yeah, I'm curious to see how that one settles. All right, the next color is Psych. This one is transparent, and the pigments are PB 29 and PV 19. So it's similar to the last one, except instead of using the 28, it's using 29. So oh, that's beautiful. If I'm remembering correctly, that means it's using ultramarine instead of cobalt. I need to double check that, but I get the 28 and 29 mixed up sometimes in my brain, but I think that's correct. So I think this one's ultramarine based and that one was cobalt based, which would make sense in the way they're performing if that is the case. That's beautiful. That is stunning. It says this one's transparent, but this one has a lot more pigment in it. I'm curious to see how this one dries down. Okay. All right, so there's the first row. These are stunning. I can see this one starting to separate. This one definitely looks like Lunar Blue. I actually want to get out Daniel Smith's and compare it. And I think I just can't help myself. I'm going to do the stone swatches of these since they're new to me. I want to see how they look in the stone style. I'm sorry if that bothers you. I'll put it at the end of the video. Oh my gosh, these are so pretty. All right, so the next color is Girl Star. This one is transparent. Okay, this one has the same pigments as the last one. So PB 29 and PV 19. So I'm assuming the ratio between the two is going to be a little different, but they are the same pigments. I'm going to double check. Yes, PB 29 is ultramarine and PB 28 is cobalt blue. My memory did not fail me. Okay, let's check out Girl Star and let's see what the ratios. I think the other one has more blue and this one's going to have more of the violet in it, but let's see. Yeah, this one's a little bit warmer than the last one. But so beautiful. This looks like Rose of Ultramarine. I know I keep referring to Daniel Smith, but they're the paints that I've used the most and the ones that I gravitate toward because of their granulating paints. And this looks a lot like Rose of Ultramarine. We'll see how it settles down though. All right, this next one, I don't know how to say the name, but it looks like Tannin. I don't know. This one is supposed to be opaque. The pigments are PB 35 and PY 138. This is a very vibrant grassy kind of green. And let's see if I can get some more pigment. This one was the thicker paint when it was poured, and it's cured a lot more than some of these others already. So let's see. There we go. Get that separation in there. Sorry, I keep bumping the camera. Okay, this one is giving me more Holbein granulating vibes than Daniel Smith. Holbein has some that have some really vibrant, beautiful colors that separate, and this one is giving me Holbein vibes. I gotta say, I'm impressed so far. Let's go on to the next one, Jupiter. All right, so this one is opaque. Again, if I'm reading the squares properly. And this one has PV 14, which I'm not familiar with. It's a violet. And then PY 42. So this is going to be a muted kind of purple. We got purple and yellow, which are opposites. So, interesting color. There we go. Build that up. This one is a little bit on the gummy texture. Ooh, that was a lot of water. Yeah, so the texture on these is a little bit, some of them are really smooth, some of them are gummy, but I find that in swatching so many paints, I've swatched a lot of paints, there are just some pigments that have to be formulated in a certain way that they are more gummy. They're just a little more, difficult to formulate. And I think certain pigments require more binder, but I do like the texture of some of these better than others. However, again, I have learned not to judge a gummy paint until I've used it in a painting, because sometimes those are the best light, delicate layering paints. So in the beginning of my watercolor journey, I always judged a gummy paint and was like, well, this is awful, but that's not necessarily the case. You just have to know what they're made for and how to use them. Some gummy paints, yes, are awful, but just because it's gummy doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad paint. Okay, this next one is Athena Star. It is transparent. We have PB 29 and PR 177. So we got blue and red, Athena Star, which, fun fact, I named my cameras, and the camera I'm filming with right now is Athena. So this color is for my camera. Oh, and that's a beautiful color. No gumminess here on this color. This one is nice. Oh yeah, I like that color a lot. Yeah, I'm definitely going to swatch these real quick in the stone style because I think these are going to look glorious in that way. All right, two more. That's always sad when we run out of paints. That's okay. I have another set to swatch that is coming soon. Okay, this one is an interesting name. It's Make. It's just one word, Make. It is transparent, and this is also PB 29. So we've got ultramarine and PR 179. That one actually is reminding me of a Holbein one as well. We got a mixture of Holbein and Daniel Smith, and those are my two favorite brands, so that is a good sign. Okay, Make. I like that there's a good combination of the more bright, vibrant ones and then these more dusty ones. We've got a full kind of range, and I love it. Pretty. All right, the last one of the set. It looks like it's gonna be a beautiful one. And this one is Vega. This one is opaque. Unless this means staining and semi-staining and non-staining, I don't know, because again, it's in a different language. All right, so Vega is PB 36 and PV 29. This sounds like it's gonna be gorgeous. All right, let's give this a swatch. The reactivation time on these is fantastic. And again, these aren't 100% cured, but the ones that are thicker, they are pretty cured, and they're reactivating. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Oh, I'm not going to say this is my favorite one of the bunch, but it might be. I like the texture of the paint. I like the color, and it looks like it's going to separate and granulate beautifully. So that is a beautiful color. All right, so while these dry, so we can see their full effect, I'm going to go ahead and swatch them in a stone style. I'm just going to speed through it so you can see it, but whoa, come on, go in there. but we won't be here all day, so. Okay, I'm gonna get out some other swatches. I've got some of my Holbein swatches in here because some of these I want to compare up to some other granulating paints that I have. So if you have the same sets, then you might not need these. These are gorgeous, however. If you don't have any granulating paints, this is a nice kind of well-rounded set of, you've got some more brighter, darker, muted, rich, different types of granulating paints. These two in particular are reminding me of ones that I have. This one obviously looks like Daniel Smith's Lunar Black, and then like Rose of Ultramarine, and oh crud, what's the other one called? Hold on. Imperial Purple. This one looks like Imperial Purple and then Rose of Ultramarine. However, let's look at some other granulating paints that I have. Okay, so here are the Holbein ones. So this Wonder Forest Green, it's a little more on the blue side than that other one. Gosh, these are so pretty. I can't, the Holbein ones are some of the best ones out there. Earthshine Violet looks similar to this, except a little bit more rich. Where's the one? I think it was a different brand, Mission. Oh, man, I have a good set. These are the Mission granulating paints. What are you? Fantasy Violet looks a lot like one of these. And then Aurora Violet kind of looks a little bit in between those two. Vega is quite unique and beautiful. I don't know that I have one quite like that. I have got to, okay. I think it was the Kira, what was it? What was the name of that? Hold on, give me a second. What are you called? These are the Kusakabe Harmonia. I think Phantom Mist is the one. Nope, not that one. Pretty color, but not it. Gosh, these Kusakabe ones you can find on Amazon also, and they're actually really good. I'm trying to find the one. There's one like that in one of my sets. If I come across it, I will put it in here, but anyway, here, that I kind of went sidetracked there, but here are the granulating paints from Meritini. Let's write it. I'm going to write it on both sides, but let me know what you think of these. Let me know if you've even heard of this brand. I definitely have some favorites in this set. You know what? It may be a 31 Purple Fish paint now that I'm really thinking about it. Well, maybe not. I don't know. It's driving me crazy. Some of these definitely outshine some of the other ones. Sarah's, I thought, was going to do a little bit more. I know I have a paint just like this. I really was hoping this one would separate more, and I bet you could push it to separate it more, but it didn't just naturally separate like I wanted it to. Some of these I definitely like better than others. This one isn't a huge separator, but man, I love this color. I obviously love Jupiter. We're Tannin. I don't know how you say that one. Athena Star is actually a really, really pretty one as well. I can see florals being gorgeous with that one. Pluto was kind of meh. It did a little bit better on this paper, but Uranus was definitely the like chunkiest separation. And again, if you just want to get a PBK 11 and mix it with different paints, it's going to do this beautiful, anyways. But yes, I'm going to be done now. I have more paints to swatch. My dear sweet husband bought me another granulating set to try out that I am so excited about. So that one will be coming probably next week. We shall see. But yeah, that is it for this one. Let me know your thoughts on these paints. Is this something you're interested in? How much was this set? It was $70. So definitely more artist grade price. I know granulating colors and ones that separate are definitely like convenience colors. You can mix your own, but I personally have a lot of fun with them and enjoy them. So they're worth it for me. All right, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed watching this swatching video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you want to see our future videos, hit the subscribe button down below and we'll see you guys next time. Bye. Yeah, the reactivation. Quit bumping the camera. Meritini. Meritini. Darn it. I looked up how you pronounce it and now I already forgot. Okay. So, when did that get in the frame? I don't know that I mentioned this is a granulating set, so I'm sorry. What is that? I'm going down a rabbit hole. Forgive me. Whoa, not that one. This is the one that looks like blood.